Hello. This fishing is done by a specific community called Miana Muslims. They are a Muslim NTD community. So this is Sherbanu from Madi and Gujarat. She's a prawn fisherwoman. And what actually happens is, this is in Little Run of Kutch. So in the monsoon, when water is inundated in Little Run of Kutch, these people live in Maria, pack up everything and travel in tractors to the Little Run of Kutch and set up camps. And they stay there for all of monsoon and do the prawn fishing. Now what happens is, men in the community go around 3 p.m. In the boats and set up the net, and in the morning they take the net and come back. The moment the boat reaches the area where they're living, women take over, okay? And women are responsible for sorting through the catch. Then once that is sold, they are also, whatever's not sold, they boil and dry it to store for longer period of time. Now, a woman like Sherbano, her schedule looks like she wakes up early at 5 a.m. First, she has to cook and finish all the household chores before the men come with the catch, right? And once the catch comes, they have to go into the water at 8 a.m. And then do the sorting till like afternoon, 12 o'clock. Then they have to cook lunch and and like the dabba for the men. And once the men leave at 3 is when the actual work starts, right? They also, like before 12, they finish the boiling of the prawn and give it to dry. Now, after the men leave, they have to walk 3-4 kilometers to the pond in the nearby village, where they have to bathe their children, wash the clothes, and then they come back and clean the houses. And after all of that is done, they have to uh, basically, by the time all of that is done, it's 10 p.m. Okay. So now the point I'm making here is, there is a lot of intersection with water that we don't understand. Now these women, like so far you've been saying, oh, this is a very tough life, but these are the women who protested. So in the area there is the culture of agents, okay? So each dabba of prawns is sold at 500 rupees to an agent who sells it at 1500 rupees. Now these women is as a collective there who got together and protested and said, we will sell directly to the market, we won't sell it through agents. And I asked them, why are women leading this? Like, because we know how much labor goes into it. Men go there, sit, and come back. But we are the ones working throughout the day. We know exactly how much this is worth. And I think, I think that's what I'll come back to the imagery, is that it's not that they're suffering, it's not that they're champions, it's a daily negotiation that happens in women's life. Now, another aspect of water I think everyone is misses out in this is, Sherbano, I think 10 days before I met her, she had to get a bottle chadana, is what they say, a saline, right? Because she fell sick. And why is that? Because all morning they go into the water and work, and then they come back in the extreme heat, they have to walk. So that sudden change in temperature significantly impacts their health. So, and these are the women who protested and went to the district collector's office and said that the Asha lady has to come to our area also. And I think in the last 4-5 years that is happening. So I think water is intrinsically gendered, and looking at that is very important. Not just, oh, they have to walk miles to get the water. It goes beyond that. Another aspect I would like to talk about this story is, because it is in Little Run of Kutch, it's a protected area. Ginger prawns with their fish is endemic to the area. And forest department officials have been harassing them. They come, they harass and take prawns away as bribe, right? So I think overall what I would like to say is, prawns like that they make is currency. They give it like 1 kilo of prawns they get for, and they buy 1 kilo of mithai if they want to. So it is currency, and that currency is coming from women's labor, and it is very much involved in water. Is another story that I did on brick kiln workers in Rajasthan. Now this is about the climate impact on brick kiln workers. So in this kilns, so the kilns also are seasonal. They work after the monsoon till the next year before the monsoon, right? And so basically they work throughout the peak summer periods, and kilns themselves are like 1100 degrees Celsius, so there's a lot of radiating heat as well. Now, the point I want to make here is a lot of these things are very structural. Most of kiln workers are Dalits, Adivasis, and OBCs, and they're landless. The reason they go to kilns is because of medical emergency or any kind of financial emergency, and they need um, some kind of loan, right, or some kind of large sum. And the only people offering them are these contractors who hire them to work in kilns. And the point I'm making is all these intersections are very important to understand the landscape of water, labor, and gender.